Hi, here's a quick tutorial for Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose. So Vajrasana is actually one of the harder poses to get into. A lot of people won't even be sitting down, but they'll be on their knees, and that's fine as you're learning to sit down. You might start by sitting on your heels. If you can't sit on your heels, be up on your knees as much as you can with your heels, toes down. Some people find it easy to sit on their heels with the toes out. If this is you, then just keep doing this, but mind that you'll need to be starting to turn your toes back and eventually get your heels pointing upward, because that's what you want, your heels pointing upward, and the full pose is sitting between the heels with the heels outside and the knees together. When you first start, your knees might be apart, and that's fine. If you find yourself sitting like this, start to bring your feet apart a little bit. What's also helpful is to bring a block underneath your hips, or you can bring like a towel and just sit on something so that you can feel what it's like to get your toes out. It's really helpful to have a block, that you can sit on a block underneath your hips. Sometimes for some people it'll take years and years to get into this pose. Don't really worry about getting into the pose, but the point of the pose is to be able to stretch the front of the legs, the hip flexors, and then you're coming into a back bend. So the full pose, it's gonna look like this. You have your heels out, and then you might start here. You might be on your elbows, or you're coming all the way back and your arms are overhead. This might not come for many years or ever, so don't worry about trying to get into the full pose. But if you do want to increase your ankle and knee flexibility, or rather just your ankle flexibility, you can start using acupressure on yourself during different poses. So like you can come into butterfly, so Baddha Konasana, and put some pressure with your thumbs here at K1, the kidney point. This can help increase flexibility in the legs. Right here, you're going to hold for about 10 breaths, nice and deep, as you direct your awareness here. You can also put pressure on the inner feet here and just below the ankles here. There are a lot of acupressure points on the ankles. You can pinch below the foot. You can also start working on Thai lady stance. Thai lady stance, it's like this. You're just sitting with your toes underneath. Try to hold that for a minute or longer. This will increase the flexibility in the calves and the back of the legs. You can also do this pose where you lift up and you're increasing the flexibility in the Achilles as you pull back. Think about putting a strap here and then pulling. You can use a belt, put it just underneath the attachment where the toe is attached to the foot, and pull. This will flex your toes back. Okay, if you want to get more flexibility on the front side, just practice this and practice slowly sitting down with the toes back and the feet are parallel. And if you keep practicing yoga and you keep practicing these things, then it'll come eventually. You'll be able to sit on it. So I hope that helps.